Welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about this guy. So what is this? This is a USB Type-C adapter for an Apple IIc. So you can get these currently at mozzwald.com, mozzwald.com. They're about $30 in shipping. But what this allows you to do is replace the bulky power adapter on your Apple IIc with a USB Type-C connection powered externally. So I wanted to try this out today, see how it works. So let's run over to my Apple IIc and test this guy out. All right, so here's my Apple IIc setup. I've got this bulky original power supply here, and I've got it hooked up to my Apple IIc. All right, so I got my Floppy Emu hooked up. Let's go ahead and power on the monitor here. And yes, this monitor, the yoke, deflection yoke, is crooked still. I'm gonna fix it someday. I haven't gotten to it yet. So let's power on the Apple. We got our Floppy Emu here, and this should launch us into the print shop. That's what I had loaded most recently when I was doing the banner that I printed in a previous video with my ImageWriter 1. So anyway, as you can see, everything's working great. But what I want to do now is take this and plug this in instead of using this giant adapter. So there's one caveat. The USB Type-C power that you feed into it can't be just a standard phone charger or, a typical 5-volt USB Type-C power delivery adapter. You need something that can output 15 volts, and it has to, according to the documentation, be at least 30 watts. So I've got a M1 MacBook Air adapter here, and while this one can do 15 volts, it cannot do 30 watts. So this might work, but it's out of spec according to the designer, so I'm not going to use it. Instead, what I have here is a power adapter from, I think it's a 2019 MacBook Pro, and this one is 96 watts, so it's more than enough. Also, it can do 15 volts. If you look on the side of these things, in this horrible apple gray color that you can barely read even with your eyes, much less on video, it'll have the specs of the adapter. And on this one, it's got the wattage on this side, and it says 96 watts here somewhere. But I can't really get that on video because it's hard to read even in person. But I did check this one. It does 15 volts, it does 96 watts, so we should be good to go with this adapter. So let me go ahead and switch these things out. All right, so obviously the first thing we want to do is turn the machine off. And we'll slide it out. We can disconnect the original bulky giant brick of an adapter. And then we can take our new USB-C adapter here, and I'll plug this end into my 2019 MacBook power adapter. And then this just plugs into the back of the system, like so. So I'll slide that back up here. Now I'll plug in my power adapter here. All right, so here we go. Turn it on and see what happens. So as you can see, everything's working. We've got the Floppy Emu running, the system's booting, and we're back into the print shop. So I would say this is a fairly elegant solution as opposed to using, something like this. These guys can definitely fail. This thing is super bulky. The Apple IIc was made to be portable, but this brick sort of negated some of that portability. So with this solution, obviously this is much lighter, and I've got some extra long cords on mine because I use it for other things as well. So I've got at least 20 feet of cords, but you can get the adapter that just has the two prongs that come out and make this much shorter. And with everything working, this is a super convenient solution, super easy, and fairly inexpensive, assuming that you have a 50 watt plus 15 volt USB Type-C delivery device. And I think these are becoming more common. I certainly got a few others around, but with the replacement of basically everything being USB-C, I think these are going to be much more common in the following years. And if not, you can probably find one on Facebook Marketplace, something like that. And if you have an Apple IIc that you don't have a power supply for, instead of trying to find some, original adapter that still works after all these years, or some aftermarket one that is crazy, this is really quite an elegant solution, and I'm really impressed by it so far. Obviously now it either works or it doesn't work, so there's not a ton of things to review about it. The case is 3D printed, so it doesn't look maybe as nice as you'd wanted, but 3D printed devices do look pretty good. You can kind of see the printing striations in it if you look closely, if the camera would focus on it. But it's on the back of your Apple II. No one's going to see it anyway. The other nice thing about this one is that it does have overvoltage protection. So if it detects overvoltage for whatever reason, it will shut down and it won't damage your Apple IIc. And yeah, it's got these nice little thumb grips on the side too. These little indentations so you can pull it out easily, which is a nice touch. If it didn't have those, it'd be a little harder to get out. I've gotten some other power adapters for them. I have one here for Atari 8-bits. Same kind of thing. USB Type-C, plugs right into the Atari. And I have one for a Commodore 64 as well. Now the Commodore 64 one is different in the sense that it takes not only USB, but it takes a standard voltage as well from a different transformer. So it's not quite as nice. When you purchase the Commodore 64 version, you can select which type of transformer you want to go with it. I picked the one that fits the standard Nintendo Entertainment System, and they have, I think, another choice as well. So if you have an NES power supply and a USB Type-C 15-volt adapter, you can power your Commodore 64 with these as well. So I don't think it's worth making a whole nother video. They all work the same, and that is fantastically. Commodore 64 one is great because the Commodore 64 power supplies do have the problem where they are overvolting Commodore 64s, and everyone you talk to that's in the know on C64s says don't use original factory power supplies anymore without some type of protection in place to not overvolt your system. And they're recommending, buying aftermarket power supplies. And those are pretty expensive. I think they're running like $80 to $90 for a full aftermarket one. And this again is like, I think $30 on Moswell.com. But you do need to supply the USB Type-C 15 volt, and you do need to supply the other voltage as well. And you can get, a generic power adapter for the Nintendo one on Amazon for pretty cheap, an aftermarket one. And it's got the same overvoltage protection as well. But the Atari one, super awesome. USB Type-C, plugs into the Atari, no big deal, works great. So yeah, here's the website. It's Moswell.com. And these things have been selling out pretty quick, but they also get back into stock pretty quick. When they're out of stock, you can put in your email address and it will let you know when they're back in stock. But they sell out pretty quick. They're pretty popular. So I've got the one for the Atari, the 8-bit USB-C one, which is quite a bit cheaper. I also talked about the Commodore one. So when you go to purchase the Commodore one, you have to choose between which of these two different barrel jacks you want to use to provide the secondary voltage to the Commodore. Yeah, that's it. So like I said, I'll have a link in the description. Check them out. Send them your money. These guys do good work. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Hi guys! Make sure to like and subscribe and watch more of our videos later. Bye!